podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Okay, I'm here with Tom. We're going to a bit of World Cup chat, maybe a bit of United chat. But Tom, you're just back from Morocco. Yeah, that was a good choice, wasn't it?
It was a very good choice. I thought, so I didn't want to go to Qatar, and 4 years ago I didn't want to go to Russia. And instead of going to Russia 4 years ago, I just decided to go to a few European countries while the World Cup was on to watch games over there. And I thought, hey, why don't I do something similar and go to an African country to watch them play while in Morocco. So I thought, yeah, that'd be good. And yeah, it was mad. And being there for the Belgium win in particular was crazy. Like the whole of Casablanca, which is the maddest football city in well, maybe you could say North Africa, but definitely in Morocco. Like Wydad Casablanca, which is the local team over there, won the African Champions League this year. And where I kind of positioned myself was where all the Wydad slogans were all over the walls, and some quite nasty ones as well, like saying "danger, don't go in here," and that will slice you up and all that kind of stuff. But the scenes after it was just crazy, just absolutely mental. Like people everywhere, like people just hanging out of their cars, driving up and down, like the police like egging them on, cheering them on and stuff. So it was just crazy scenes. It was a very, very good choice actually. And Morocco looks strong. They've got a very good, solid spine, and their back five in particular is very good. And Amrabat's been awesome, and they've got Ziyech, who's coming into a little bit of form now. And they could be they could be a shock for Spain in the next round, I think.
Let's hope so, because Spain can't score goals and Morocco don't concede them. I think they've conceded one in like 600 and something odd minutes of. They're very tight. Amrabat, obviously, he's been a player on people's radar for some time, but this is the shop window, isn't it? If Fergie was around, he would have signed him up, or that fella from Cameroon who did the scoop goal thing. Definitely signed him up.
He's going to be playing with Ronaldo soon. He plays for the same team as Ronaldo's new team, Al Nassr, if reports are to be believed.
Yeah, I know, but Ronaldo's only in it for the Champions League.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Yeah,
and the good quality pool.
Yes, of course.
Something like that. So
he was great today as well.
Oh, God, he's absolutely stunk the place out 3 games in a row, Ronaldo has. He's
great little assist off the back there.
Dreadful. Yeah, I mean, he was partially at fault for Korea's goal.
Beautiful.
Love it. Love to see it. Don't love to see. Well, I don't know. They're both up there, aren't they, in terms of like sort of villains? But Luis Suarez being knocked out after Korea scored a goal 6 minutes into injury time was a thing of beauty. Suarez sat on the bench, kind of echoed scenes from Ghana. The quarterfinal against Ghana 8 years ago, after he'd been sent off and he was watching from the bench. Yeah. Instead of the joy, there were tears flowing from the racist biter that is Luis Suarez. Love to see it.
It was so weird watching because the South Korea game finished early. I think about almost like 10 minutes earlier than the Uruguay game. So everyone kind of knew what exactly needed to happen there, and it felt like Ghana almost like didn't want to concede, like because it's like they've forgotten that they could still go through.
They could still go through with a couple of goals,
in like 10 minutes time. But they were like, it's almost like they had in their mind was like, we can't let Uruguay go through here, surely not. Right. But and
that became more important than trying to get through. They're
almost, it felt like
honestly, Ghana were kind of disappointing, and I thought there'd be more from them. I mean, they were fun at times, but obviously conceded too many goals. Basically, I thought we might see more from them, but we didn't in the end. But of the African teams, Morocco looked very strong. Senegal, okay. I mean, I guess we'll see how good they are when England play them at the weekend.
Yeah, it's definitely true. I mean, you think you put Mane into that team and they become a real handful all of a sudden. Obviously, they won the African Cup of Nations earlier this year with Mane, and I think they've done really superbly well to get through that group without him, because I thought Ecuador were really good, actually. I think Ecuador were unlucky not to beat Holland. I think Senegal were unlucky not to beat Holland as well.
And even Qatar weren't that bad against Holland. So
Yeah, no.
Holland have been rubbish, let's be honest.
They have, yeah.
Holland, it will surprise absolutely nobody who's ever seen a Louis van Gaal side, but their system is pass, 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 get frustrated, lump it long, lose the ball.
It's basically
over and over again.
Total dullness.
Total dullness, yeah, that's right. Back to front, we will be experts in not entertaining you. Other than most of this World Cup, which has been very entertaining. And we won't forget everything that this means. This is a World Cup built on slave labor in a country that doesn't respect the rights of women and minorities, with a government that's trying to gaslight us at every possible moment, and an organising body in FIFA that is not only corrupt but enabling the Qataris to get away with it. Right? So we don't forget any of that. But the football's been very good as well. And I'm not equating these two things and saying that they're on the same level, but it's a football tournament, and there's been a lot of jeopardy and a lot of good quality football. Yeah,
and I tweeted this. I think I'm just way too selfish to give up the World Cup, because the amount of fun I'm having just watching it, I can't deprive myself of that. I just these are, like you say, it's an abhorrent World Cup for so many ways, but then you just watch it and it just puts me at a different frequency level. Like, it gives me such a high watching the football. Like the games last night, Japan and Costa Rica, almost both squeezing through that group. I was just at a level that nothing else in my life can get me to that level apart from football. And I'm sure so many people listening think that when United play, United can get us to highs that nothing else in our lives can, really. And I feel
that's the power of football, and that's why FIFA get away with being part quasi-governmental, part mafioso organisation.
Because
and this is why states like Qatar want it, not just for the obvious kind of sport washing thing, but for the soft power and the linkages into multiple governments and the excuse to build infrastructure. And this is why it's so powerful.
And you've seen quite starkly the reaction slowly of journalists over there. I saw Mark Pugac talking about, he was doing like a vlog of halfway through the tournament and his reflections so far, and talking about, I just can't believe how good it is. Everything's working so well. The Winter World Cup, it all being in so close together. It's just people just falling for the trap of exactly what Qatar wanted to happen in this World Cup. But if you're thinking, I didn't think this would work in one city, a one city tournament, and these kind of things, you were obviously ill-informed in the first place. Your priorities were in the wrong place if you're thinking that, we didn't think this would work, or the no, because he referenced the no beer thing again, like a tiny, almost like just pointless thing, really, compared to the losses of migrant life that happened to create this World Cup. And it's not
let's
just
talk
Mark
about
Pugac,
that, because that's right. Like, it's not just Mark Pugac, and we expect better because he's from BBC. BBC. Where's Pugac on these days?
Yeah. He's on the ITV now, but he used to be on Five Live for a bit.
Right, that's right. In the US, where I'm based, listeners will know, Fox are covering it. They have the contract, and it's all sponsored by Qatar, right? So they're in this slick studio. They never talk about any of the problems ever. It's all about the amazing football and the amazing infrastructure. And they have these slick adverts about how Qatar is bringing the world together and in being an investor and an innovator. And there's just zero reference at all. And that is bought and paid for. And pure sports washing.
And I've been in Morocco, so beIN Sports has been on everywhere I've been.
Right.
Richard Keys, Andy Gray and the lads, which has been quite sick inducing, to be honest, just watching them. And obviously there's no talk about the human rights side, and it's just Richard Keys obviously being fed in his ear to say, it's just great, isn't it? it's just such a great city. It's such a great country, and just talking about the greatness of it all the time. And none of the pundits, Gary Neville's on there, by the way. John Terry's on there, like Jermaine Jones for Americans, and Goodyear, and everyone's obviously just not allowed to say anything and just nod their heads. And that whole
Gary Neville knows better, should know better, has been called out on it, and he's still doing it anyway.
I can't believe that he is on that show. Like, and also the fact that Richard Keys used to have a go at him all the time. And like, even just from a personal perspective, I didn't think
everyone forgets when they're paid.
Exactly. And you just, I don't know. You do expect better of Gary Neville. When he used to,
do we though?
I don't know. I don't anymore. But I think I used to, like, because he came with like this reputation, and the way he used to talk was so kind of left wing and righteous. Mm-hmm. But he is just completely Keir Starmer'd himself, hasn't he?
Oh my God, yes. Well, we could do a whole podcast on that. But yes, for sure. And the other one this week, John Barnes out on all the programs. I mean, he has been I'm trying to think what the term, and I'm being really careful here because I know it's not my place, right? But the term that is often used about black people who defend racists is Black Shield, right? Mm-hmm. And he has been that in the past about the Black Lives Matter protests. He said racism doesn't exist. He's obviously in a very strange bubble, John Barnes, and he was out on all the programs this week defending Qatar. Now, it turns out he's paid, right? So Josimar had dug out the Norwegian investigative sports journal. By the way, they did a piece before the World Cup, talking with interviews with migrant workers. Is brilliant. It's like 170 pages of stuff. It's really, really good. Well worth it. You buy a digital copy for like €10 or something. And anyway, they found the contract. He's a paid advocate for Qatar. Not a single mention on any of those interviews. By the way, John, are you paid by Qatar? Oh yeah, I am. Yeah.
And his arguments almost with anything, and he's always a mouthpiece for these, almost like the anti conversation. Like he's kind of the guy they almost wheel out to just give another opinion,
to be the contrarian,
to be the other side. And you can just pick so many holes in all of his arguments. Like the argument that, would we like it if Africans came over here and started complaining about our judicial system and so? Yes, we would like it, actually. I think that would be absolutely amazing.
And by the way, the awful abuses taking place in migrant detention centres in the UK should be called out.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we don't defend colonialism or the West's role in and its crimes, but that's just pure whataboutery. Right now, we're watching a tournament in Qatar, and these crimes are happening.
And I hate those arguments. Like, you see it on Twitter all the time. Like, why aren't you calling out the West? The West isn't the conversation right now. I mean, I and most of these people who are making these discussions don't agree with like Britain's colonial past or the way that, like you say, we treat migrants in this country. And so for you to bring that argument to the table is just, it's complete whataboutery, but also we're on the same side as you. If you're making that argument, we're on the same side. So don't have a go at us here. Just try and it's such a weird argument. I don't get it at all.
It's a parroted line, because this is what the Qataris have said, that to question Qatar without talking about, and Infantino said it himself, the West should be apologising for the past 3,000 years for the next 3,000 years. So therefore, like, whatever crimes happen in Qatar are justified because of the crimes of the past of the Western colonialism. And it's obviously nonsense.
And you've seen it with Iran and USA, the Iran USA debate before the game over there, like Carlos Queiroz and I can't even remember the USA manager's name. Berhart, is it?
Bernhalter.
Yeah. And he was like, Bernhalter was asked the question, about black discrimination in America. And Berhalter really should have just said, yes, I don't agree with that either. like almost like
Yes.
Steve Kerr.
Tyler Adams gave a very good answer to that.
Yes,
actually. So,
he did. Yeah, but Berhalter was almost
he may play for Dirty Leeds, but he was
very good player on the pitch,
which basically said, "Look, we're trying to make progress, and if we make progress, we're making progress." Right?
Yeah,
and that's right. It is a question, and the Qataris have made a lot of their supposed progress on migrant rights, and there have been some changes in the law that allow migrants to be a little bit less modern slaves. But the fact is, like the Human Rights Watch and Amnesty, you've got people on the ground say most of these laws aren't being enacted, right? So you may have passed, and by the way, that we think it'll all get dropped after the World Cup when the gaze is elsewhere. Anyway, all of this is deeply depressing, which is good or bad depending on your take that the football has been so good.
Yeah, it's important to remind ourselves of this, and important to keep having the conversation
every moment.
Exactly, yeah, because also it will just get lost, and you just see it you see it with the TV coverage, obviously what you see in America, but in Britain as well, where people are. It's not being talked about anywhere near as much as it was, and like I say, journalists who are over there are being their minds are being changed by the luxury that they are experiencing over there, almost like it wasn't going to be a great place for Western tourists to go. That's literally what they want.
Well, exactly. So
that's what they're good at.
I mean, I think I said on the last show, I haven't spent a lot of time in Doha. I have spent a lot of time in Dubai and UAE, and I'm not deliberate. Well, I guess I am conflating the two, which is like unfair, but similar issues with the kafala system across that region, across the Gulf region, and Dubai is a fantastic place to go for a Westerner. You don't have a problem getting a drink. You can, and it's well known where the bars are. And it's very easy, and the hotels are fantastic, and there's great entertainment, and the beaches are brilliant, and if you've got money, you can do whatever you want, basically. Of course, yeah. Again, right? You're not a migrant worker from Nepal or Bangladesh, paid $5 a day, and risking your life to build this luxury for us Westerners to go enjoy our Mai Tais at the top of the Hilton or a football game at the Khalifa International Stadium. And right, so yeah, all part of the plan, folks.
One sec, can you hear beeping?
No.
Okay. Anyway, I'm just going to turn my Alexa off because it's been going on for about 5 minutes. Okay. I'm glad it's not been. I'm glad you can't hear it, because that means they can't hear it either. One sec. Oh man, that was annoying. Cool. Sorry.
All right. After that, let's talk about a bit of the football. We dived a little bit into Group F, which Morocco won and Croatia came second. Poor Romelu Lukaku doing his best impression of Romelu Lukaku and missing. I counted 4 really good chances in that game.
I think his XG himself was 1.35, and he was on the pitch for 45 minutes and didn't score. The last one, I think, was the one for me where he kind of tried to chest it. And
kind of hit himself in the dick with the ball, didn't he? Yeah. It didn't go anywhere. So.
Oh my God.
He proved that he could hit something though afterwards when he destroyed the dugout.
There's part of me that feels sorry for him. But then there's part of me that thinks the way that you were at United, Billy Big Bollocks, oh God, I'm just laughing at you. There's been a lot of stories which have made me laugh in that respect. Ronaldo one today, I know it doesn't really matter. The Suarez one is just hysterical, and that Lukaku one yesterday was beautiful as well, I thought. A lot of resentment in that.
There is. and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I have a German colleague, and I said, "Hey, you got any words for that feeling when you take joy in the suffering of others?"
And that's how.
Yes, Ed, I do. There's the perfect word.
It's definitely how I felt watching Germany as well last night. Oh my God, that was a beautiful thing as well to see them go out.
It was. I mean, at one stage, both Germany, for a very short period, Germany and Spain were out. And that would have been even better, wouldn't it? I mean, actually, like for all the brilliance of Spain, I can't see them winning this. You have to have a reliable goal scorer. You've got a reliable way of getting a goal. And I'm not sure I see it.
And it was really weird yesterday. Like there was obviously 3 or 4 minutes where they were going out, and then a further, 20 minutes or so where they surely would be thinking, we really need to score here just to make sure that whatever happens in that. And they didn't even look like scoring. It was just like their typical pass. We don't really know what to do here because we're playing against a low block. Pass. Dani Olmo will have a shot and go wide, and then we restart again because Japan will just give us the ball back. And you think that Luis Enrique is a very smart coach. And I know he said after yesterday's game that he was really disappointed and angry about the performance. But it's just, Spain have been like this for so long. Even when they won the World Cup, they were like, pass. We'll get a 1-0 win. And
2010 World Cup, is it?
Bored there.
2010, they were really boring. 2008 Euros, I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah, that was kind of when Torres was quite exciting at that point.
But it's a pattern, isn't it, across all the top countries? Like, how many of them have a number 9? Like, Germany don't, Spain don't, France without Benzema don't really. I mean, they're trying different ways.
Giroud's been quite good, hasn't he?
But he's come to the end of his career. Yeah. Mbappe's an outside to in player. Brazil don't really have a number 9.
No.
They're trying to work out what the pattern they play is. A lot of wide players, and like, what is it that is about? England do, but Harry Kane is 29 now.
Yeah,
right. How long has he got at the top level? He's never been super quick, so I guess he's going to keep scoring goals for a while yet. But what is it about the top countries that there aren't number 9s? I mean, everyone would kill for Erling Haaland. Do you think there isn't a single team that I've just mentioned that wouldn't change their pattern of play to have Erling Haaland in the side, right? Including Spain.
It's like
our tiki-taka philosophy. No, we're quite happy to go for a long ball through the middle now and again now.
It's like, I think there's been a debate for a long time, but the academy's almost too efficient, aren't they? They're creating the same type
of these brilliant technical players.
Even at fullback and either at centre half, like it is such a pattern in all of the countries. You think to Italy as well, like Italy who won the Euros. They don't play with a recognised striker either. They kind of have a lot of these technically brilliant players, and it's the same with England. Like, you think who else would be coming through who would play like that? And if you obviously got like your even Tony or Callum Wilson, but then not elite. And there's no other Harry Kane coming through. Like, academies just don't seem to make them. And I guess if you're just drilling into players to be this technical minded footballer, and I know at a lot of academies and underage teams that when you're growing up, you play in every single position. You play at right back one week and you play centre midfield at one week. You even play in goal sometimes at some academies the next week. And I guess maybe that really hurts, that you're not getting this big strapping centre forward who just loves to smash in goals. Whereas somewhere like Norway and Poland with Lewandowski, maybe Lewandowski's going way to the end of his career, or you see, I guess, Uruguay who produce these kind of players all the time. Maybe these countries that aren't so obsessed in academies, maybe that's kind of where the players always come from a little bit. These obscure footballers who are number 9s these days.
The difference in the styles of play has been a part of the entertainment, I think. It's not, I mean, like European styles are quite homogenous, honestly. They're not all as extreme as Spain, obviously, but the different styles, and that's the great thing about the World Cup, of course. The fact that Japan won that game with 18% possession. I mean, and they weren't Mourinhoing it. No. They were defending extremely well and then breaking. Yeah. So, and it's not like Inter would like punt it into the corners down just to give away possession so they could then like try and break on the transition.
And they're always so interesting, aren't they? Because all their players are so technically good. Like, they're not the fastest team, and obviously not the strongest team, but you always look at them and you're like, shit, these guys are really good. Like, there's a lot of players in there who are the ones, I guess there's a lot of German-based players, Bundesliga-based players, but they're not household names by any stretch. You think to South Korea, a lot of South Koreans team are based in South Korea, play a similar type of technical football, and then you see someone like Canada, and it's a completely different, crazy style of football that was wowing, I thought, in that first game against Belgium. I was so taken aback by how good they were, and defensively absolutely shocking. But it's just a beautiful thing. And then you see Australia, who are almost zero technical ability and 100% determination and grit. And I said on this show, I was having a go at the Australians, that they're the most boring team. And they've just been an absolute delight in so many ways.
It's kind of been entertaining. Obviously, I had a childhood watching cricket in which Australia beat us all the time. So watching Australians lose any kind of sport is good.
Yeah.
Petty, yes, absolutely. But I did start to kind of feel for the underdog there. And the fact there was tons of people on the streets of Melbourne at like 4 a.m.
Oh my God, I know.
With a dangerously large amount of pyrotechnics was quite entertaining as well. I
couldn't believe that. And then Matthew Leckie scoring the winner. Matthew Leckie was fantastic in all 3 games. Plays for Melbourne City. A lot of those players are A-League based. And
yeah, that's true. And a few imports. Unfortunately, our favourite player, Cumdog,
came on in the
Andrew
first
Cummings.
game, didn't he?
Andrew Cummings?
Jason, I think.
Yeah, he's barely played. Jason Cummings, that's it.
Yeah.
Come on, free the Cumdog.
Stephen Scouted, I think he was the founder of Scouted Football. He's an Australian lad, and I saw on his Instagram that him and his mate went to the games, and they both had Cumdog on the back of their shirts, which was a thing of beauty. And the Australian fans in general looked awesome at the World Cup. I love it when a fan base just all wears the same colours, a bit like the orange wall that's always at the Holland games, and that was like the yellow one.
Oh, that's right. And you want a diversity. There was someone who, I can't remember who now. Sorry, I'm not. I should give away the handle, but who said that they'd changed the World Cup, the seedings and the number of teams allowed from each continent based on colours, and there should be a guaranteed number of green teams, yellow teams, orange teams, because there's a lot of red at this World Cup.
Now that's what's been great about. This is one of the good things about of where it is based. Obviously, it's a nightmare that it's in Qatar, but you think Morocco wanted to host, I think it was a 2030 or maybe 2026 World Cup. I think they'd have been a great host, but for an Arab nation to host it, and when I kind of realized this truly when I was in Morocco, how linked and how loyal those nations are to each other, that everywhere I was going in Morocco, if Qatar were playing, Morocco fans would be going mad for them. Same with the Saudis, same with Iran. And you've seen it at the grounds as well. Like, it feels like a home game for the Arab nations there. And someone made that point on Twitter that it's probably not a coincidence that at the South Africa World Cup, the African teams who were pretty much cheered on by the home crowd there did achieve arguably their best ever result. And at this World Cup,
yes, I mean, they said at the time, didn't they, that was a World Cup for
exactly.
Africa. That was the South African bid mantra.
And it's been the same here. Like 3 Asian teams. I know Australia aren't really an Asian team; they play in AFC. You've seen African teams do well again. The North, like even Saudi Arabia, not getting through the group. They have that support that is the good thing, I guess. I mean, I feel like I'm being an apologist for Qatar here, but that when kind of FIFA do talk about spreading the game, that is one of the things that they should be doing, but they obviously shouldn't be doing it in the way that they are doing it. It's just something.
That's right. Pick a host in the region that you want to spread football to. By the way, spreading football is also a euphemism for local bribery.
Yes,
you know, obviously get the votes to retain your power base. But yeah, spread it to a country that doesn't use slave labor and marginalize like minority groups legally, right? Qatar is an apartheid nation. So pick one that doesn't do that. And please, right? Can't be that difficult. There's got to be a possibility.
And I know I've just come from Morocco, but Morocco would be such a fantastic choice. Like, it's such a beautiful country, football mad nation. I mean, maybe they don't have the infrastructure host it, but you maybe do like a Morocco Spain or whatever, because they're really quite close together. I mean, that would be unbelievable. But I feel like going to be the problem going forward. It's going to cost so much money to host these tournaments, and FIFA are not going to be changing their mindset,
especially with a 48 team World
exactly.
Cup.
And Saudi Arabia will probably be the next one to step up to the play, and you're not going to get these types of nations hosting it, I don't think. I mean, I think Saudi's actually with Greece and Turkey. Is it a joint bid with all of them? Egypt. Yeah, I was going to say Greece and Turkey would be
which is problematic. Egypt as well, with their human rights record at the moment. Yeah, I mean, there will be many questions when the World Cup comes to the US about US foreign policy, and as they should be. As they should be, but it's for very. I mean, the World Cup is coming to the US for commercial reasons. Let's be very clear about that. It's to make bucket loads of money for the people involved, because that's the US. And one thing the US is very good at doing is making money, and so much less for like geopolitical sport washing reasons. The CIA is for that. And so anyway, I'm going down a different rabbit hole there, but it's going to be very different World Cup. 48 teams across 3 countries, like 4 time zones, 4 maybe 5 time zones. Can't remember. It's a big spread. Probably the most polluting ever, because people be crisscrossing the country in jets all the time, and a lot of debate about the format of the World Cup going forward this week. Whether 48 teams, is it going to be 16 groups of 3, 12 groups of 4, which I think is much better, even if it's not clean. But should there be penalties before the games in groups of 3 so we can have bonus point to split teams, because there's going to be a lot of ties? Very likely. You only get 3 games, right? So it's like a couple of 1-1 draws, or two games per nation. Sorry, so what, 4 games overall is it? Yeah. Anyway,
I mean,
it's going to be very different.
It's been. I felt like this tournament has probably been the most even we've potentially ever seen. I think in before the tournament, I was thinking Australia probably the weakest team in there. Obviously, went into an intercontinental playoff themselves. Costa Rica, I was thinking, after a game, well, they're the weakest team here. They also went into an intercontinental playoff. And then Costa Rica almost get through the group. Australia do get through the group. Obviously Qatar are an outlier on their own. But the rest of the 31 teams, they probably have never been as evenly matched. And that's a massive shame about the next iteration being expanded. But then there's also the flip.
Potentially weekends.
Exactly. Yeah. But then there's also the flip side of that argument being like, okay, we're going to open up the tournament. And is there such a drop-off these days? You think to some of the European nations
we'll find out.
Make it, and then obviously...
True. Spreading the game and having more countries be able to take part in the World Cup, I think is good. If they take away the jeopardy, because there is no jeopardy in a 3-team
problem,
group, right? There is. In the sense that you basically have to win both games to guarantee yourself. But they take away a lot of the tension that we're getting with simultaneous finishes. So you only retain that by having 12 groups of 4. I hope they don't ruin that, FIFA. It means a lot more games, basically. It means 100 odd games rather than 64. But the US has got the infrastructure to support that. Now, going forward after that, not many countries do, which is why you're going to get 3 or 4 countries bidding together or something like that. We'll have to. But there is, they've already picked out 12 cities or something like that, I think, across the US. Fantastic stadia. Canada, a couple of good ones. Azteca in Mexico City and elsewhere. Mexico's hosted the World Cup a couple of times on their own themselves. It's like, infrastructure point of view, can support 100 games. So, hey, we'd all like to watch 100 games.
Watch every single one, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how do I take a month off just to gorge myself on 5 games a day?
I almost feel like how long are we into this? 2 weeks? 2 weeks?
I think day 12 or 13, aren't we?
I almost feel like like I said at the start of the show, I'm riding on a real high from just the beauty of, especially like last night was just crazy, and then earlier today was just crazy as well. Like the football just gets me to an incredible frequency. We've gone. I don't know how I'll be able to do that if it's 100 games. I feel like almost now, like how is my mental health going to be able to survive for the next 2 weeks, especially if the knockouts start to be absolutely craziness as well. But yeah, even more extension of that then. Whew.
Well, let's talk about some of the knockout games because, well, we're recording on Friday, so this will be out in time for people to so we can do a mini preview of some of the knockout games. We've got Netherlands, USA, Argentina, Australia on Saturday. And on Sunday, we've got England, Senegal, and France, Poland. I mean, shame Poland made it through because honestly, they're really rather boring, aren't they? So sorry, Polish people.
They were.
Our listeners in Krakow like turning off in disgust right now. How dare you diss Poland?
I can't remember too many teams who've limped through to the last 16 like that. They were truly awful against Argentina in that game, and Mexico out of nowhere completely turned up in their final game and were awesome. They're always quite good fun, Mexico as well. And I saw a stat that this is the first time Mexico have not ranked within the top 16 team tournament. Yeah, in the top 16. Fucking hell, 4 times did that take?
Yeah, give it
one more time.
Words
they are difficult. Words and numbers. When you put numbers next to words, difficult stuff. It's the first time they've not reached that stage in a World Cup ever, and obviously going back to when like team tournaments were 16 teams. So yeah, that's like a huge embarrassment for them as a country. But actually, in the final game, they turned up a bit like Uruguay did in their final game. But yeah, Poland are not fun, and
they're really not. I mean, France are obviously going to dispatch them. It'd be real surprise if they didn't. USA, Netherlands. I mean, I just can't. It's not a brilliant USA team. It's a young team that they're trying to grow. They've got some weaknesses. They don't really have a number 9. They're trying to solve a problem there. They've got some good midfield players. Obviously, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie. Pulisic is obviously the one that people make a lot of fuss out of, but he's only scored the scrappy goal to win them the game last time out. And he's not had a great season at Chelsea. I'm not sure he's really had the career that we thought he might do when he was an 18-year-old at Borussia Dortmund. So, but it's a growing team, and like Netherlands, there's not a lot to be scared about there. No. Maybe they can put it together, but they haven't so far.
No, I kind of fancy USA. Like against England, they were good, arguably the better team.
Probably, yeah. It surprised England tactically.
Yeah, sure. I thought they were pretty decent against Wales. I know they drew that, and Wales are rabble. But yeah, like you say, Holland on to nothing to be scared of, and USA, I think goals for them are a big thing. Like in that first game, they had a lot of chances against Wales and didn't take anything. Against England, they had a couple of good chances. I remember Weston McKennie's chance, and scoring 2 goals in a group with Iran and Wales in is not the greatest.
Yeah, it's definitely the weakness.
Yeah, but like in the midfield, they're really good. Like Tyler Adams had an awesome tournament, like you say, 30 leads, but he's been great. And I think I've been really impressed with Weston McKennie as well. I know he obviously plays for Juve. Yeah. But
he's going to be enjoying Serie B after he gets back from the World Cup, isn't he?
Serginho Dest as well has been awesome. I know, but
which is a surprise because I'm not sure he has been for his.
Somehow he was at Barcelona for a little bit, but yeah.
I don't know how. How Argentina. I mean, they obviously they're technically much superior to Australia. You'd expect them to win that one.
Yeah.
I mean, now they've moved Fernandes into the middle. They can move Enzo Fernandes. They can move the ball around. I think that was a problem in their second game. They're a much better prospect with him in there.
I feel like that one could be I slagged off Australia before the tournament, but I feel like that could be a 3 or 4-0 comfortable win for Argentina. I can't see any way.
And for some strange reason, the coach Scaloni likes Otamendi better than Lisandro Martinez. I don't know what kind of stroke he's had.
Bizarre.
For that to be true.
Bizarre.
Yeah. It's not even if it's a lefty-righty. Cristiano Romero is a right footer. So anyway. And then England, Senegal. I mean, I feel like it's unfair because like every time I talk about England, I'm like how negative Southgate is and how cautious they are and how they're playing to minimise weaknesses than playing for their strengths because they've got all these attacking players, England, and obviously the weaknesses at the back, and he covers for that all the time, and they're just very prosaic. And then they scored 9 goals in the group, so albeit against Iran and Wales. So it's like my arguments fall flat, but and we'll see what he does against Senegal. You'd kind of hope he goes on the attack rather than play. But you can see it, couldn't you? You can see him playing a front line of Kane, Sterling, Mount, and Saka. And he has Mount and Saka. Obviously, Saka's improved his game a lot, but he has Mount and Saka in there because they're very good defensively. Not necessarily for their output. Sterling's been in dreadful form, club and country, but he trusts him. And then going through a midfield of something a bit more prosaic. Like you may even start like Jordan Henderson or something awful that. God. Alongside Rice rather than Bellingham. You can see that happening and England conceding a lot of like momentum as a result because they can't move the ball through midfield if Bellingham's not in there.
I think they get overrun if they play Bellingham, if they don't play Bellingham, because Senegal are obviously a very physical and speedy team. Idrissa Gueye's suspended from...
Missing, isn't he? Yeah.
That is a big loss. Mendy's a decent player though from Leicester to come into that team. I feel like Senegal might do a number on England. I feel like they have the right attributes to turn it into a dogfight, which I don't know if USA particularly did, but the energy and the way that they harried England and almost to stop them playing, especially like Tyler Adams was a crucial part of that. But like the way they pressed England kind of upset them a little bit. And that's what Senegal will be all about. They'll be all over them like a rash in every single position, I think. And yeah, I think when was the last time England played an African team in the knockouts of the World Cup? I think, was that 1990?
Cameroon? Was it that far long ago?
I can't think of any other time.
I don't remember.
So it's not something that England play against very often. Like, and I'm not saying that every African team plays the same, but that there is a certain style that is more typical of African teams, even North African and Central African teams.
I mean, I don't think Senegal are going to sit back and let England have the ball. I'm sure you're right there. I'm sure they'll press because England's weakness is bringing the ball out of defence. Clearly, I mean, John Stones and Maguire can pass, but they don't do it quickly, especially Maguire. USA were very good about like pressing with a 2 and forcing England into wide areas all the time, and then England couldn't progress from there. Mount's not a creative player, so he's the trigger for the press. That's why Southgate likes him. It's the ability to break down the opposition high up the pitch and force mistakes as a result, whether it's set pieces, dead balls, dead pieces, one of them, or forcing mistakes. So, which is perfectly legitimate way of winning a game. It's just not a particularly exciting way of winning a game. So, yeah, I don't think this is an England gimme victory at all. Although you'd make them favourites.
Yeah, you definitely made them favourites. It's just, it just feels like styles make fights, and this style of Senegal, I think, is just a little bit of a concern. And you just feel also that if England go out to Senegal, the press are going to eat them alive because they don't know about football.
Well, of course, yeah. It's the headline. Monday, Tuesday, Japan, Croatia. I mean, Croatia will have a lot of the ball because Japan play that way. The thing that you don't normally want with Croatia is to let that midfield start getting into a pattern. Brozovic, Modric, Vasevic, it's very good midfield. They're not scoring loads of goals, so Croatia may find it, most obvious punditry ever, may find it hard to break Japan down. So,
like Kramaric is really good in that Canada game, but I think they were all buoyed by the Canadian manager telling them we're going to fuck them up, as Croatia kind of got this weird thing about them.
I mean, how can you get that offended by that? I mean, as if the locker room, dressing room talk in the Croatian dressing room isn't very similar. Of course it is, right? They just got so offended by it, or at least performatively offended. In the same way they were so offended by it.
Yeah, they're exactly the same.
A nation that just loves getting offended.
They're like, the nation version of Michael Jordan. Like, I took it personally, and that's the only way that they can be motivated by anything. And like,
whatever rocks your boat, I guess.
If it works, it works. Like, it's weird when you watch like those All or Nothing shows with with Guardiola or Arteta, and you see the team talks, and you're like, is that really what motivates like professional footballers to go out and do that job? Because it's not like revolutionary by any means, and maybe the psychology behind football is not that difficult, I guess.
All or Nothing's following the German team at this.
No way, is it really? I didn't know that. Oh my God.
As my colleague said, it's going to be a short documentary.
Oh, beautiful.
But yes, I will be getting the Steins and the Bratwurst out for that viewing.
I think there's nothing funnier than Germany going out in the group. I don't really know why I hate them so much, but it was beautiful when it happened at the last World Cup, and it's beautiful this World Cup.
I quite enjoyed Germany getting back into the game against Spain. I was watching that at a German bar here, and there's a really good atmosphere and stuff, and I was kind of going along with it, and because Spain were the baddies in that context, but yes, them going out is quite beautiful. So we'll have Morocco-Spain, great clash of styles, isn't that? That's going to be great.
It is a complete contrast of styles, isn't it? You got Spain's methodical kind of tippy-tappy stuff, and then you've got Morocco's especially their midfield and attack are just so dynamic and energetic, and the back five is solid as a rock. I think Morocco, I give them a big chance in that. Like I say, styles make fights.
Yeah, especially with such a solid defense. Yeah, classical music versus heavy metal.
It really is.
To coin a phrase. And then we'll get South Korea against presumably Brazil, recording before that one, and Portugal against, well, it could be any of Switzerland and Serbia.
2-2 at the moment.
Either or. Yeah, or I mean Cameroon, if they go mental against Brazil, could make it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, South Korea, I don't fancy their chances. I mean, they've been helped massively by the fact that they got to play a second string Portugal team who didn't really have much to play for today, which
for sure, yeah, they haven't been.
No, that group in general, like Uruguay, were crap until today when they were almost. Well, Suarez was motivated to play just like he was like 23 again. He was in his most detestable mode, and
he really knows how to turn it on, doesn't he? He is the
he really
villain.
is, and I forgot how much it riles me when I see him in that mood. Like, because it's been so long where he's been that, nasty and horrible and, just detestable, that I'd just completely forgotten how much of a dick he is. And just to see after...
just a
massive dick.
I'm not saying he's got a massive dick. He's got a tiny dick. Tiny, microscopic. But he is a massive dick.
His performance where he was very good, had great assist for the second goal. He almost scored before the first goal. And just to see after everything that he's done to that nation, and I know that Ghana didn't get through themselves, but it was just the way he was so riled up for that game. And he was also very, very good, just to see how it ended with him in floods and floods of tears.
Tears.
Chef's kiss.
Cry me a river. Love it. All right, I guess we'll call it
perfect way to end.
Keep enjoying the football, everyone, but understand the price that has been paid. I know we say this on every pod, but it's worth. It's only sport. Sport watching only works if you don't talk about the problem. So that's why we do. So have a good one. All righty.